Welcome back to Cooking Tonight with Joe. Tonight we're going to be making one of our favorites, which is homemade pasta, and I'm going to show you how we do that. The first ingredient that we use is 2 eggs. We use pasture-raised organic eggs. I'm going to crack the eggs, and I'm going to stop making fun of me.
Go ahead, 2 pasture-raised eggs. Go ahead, Chef.
2 pasture-raised eggs. I'm gonna crack them and put them in the bowl. You are just too funny tonight. I can't. Love making this stuff on a nice, cold, rainy day here in Jersey. Our sauce that I made is on the stove. It's homemade sauce. The reason that we use pasture-raised eggs is because the nutritional profile of the eggs is much better than the nutritional profile of conventional eggs. It's organic. These chickens go outside, they roam free. Do you want to come into the video? They roam free, and they are fed some grain to finish off their diet, but it is a non-GMO grain that they do get fed. They are also certified humane. The company is Blue Sky. We get them at Whole Foods. You can also get Vital Farms brand also sells them. They sell those at our ShopRite as well. So my eggs are in the KitchenAid stand mixer. I'm gonna put the rest of my wet ingredients, which is a little bit of the extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to use some water, about 2 tablespoons of water. Those are my wet ingredients. To that I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of flour. You can use whatever flour you want. We're using regular all-purpose flour. You can use whole wheat flour. We're going to put a cup of semolina. Okay. The semolina flour that we use is Bob's Red Mill brand. You can find that in some of the stores locally. They do not have it at our ShopRite. We get this either at Whole Foods or Wegmans. Now we're going to take the stand mixer, we're going to plug it in, and we're going to combine our ingredients until it forms a dough ball. On the KitchenAid we have the dough hook. Oh, I forgot the salt. Little pinch of salt here. A little bit more pinch of salt. So we're gonna plug our stand mixer in. We're going to make our dough, and then we're gonna come back and I'll show you how we package the dough and store it. It's been about 5 minutes with the dough hook on a low speed on our KitchenAid. I absolutely love the KitchenAid. I'm putting gloves on, and I'm gonna put a little bit of the olive oil on my hands so that nothing is gonna stick to it. All right, so I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna take out the dough, which is pretty much in a ball at this point. Most of it. There's a little bit at the bottom of the bowl. That's all right. So I have a ball of dough. It's well formed. A little bit of oil on top. So what we're gonna do with this is we're gonna let this rest in our refrigerator for about a 1/2 hour. That's the minimum. I'm gonna take it, I'm gonna wrap it in some saran wrap. And we're gonna just let that sit. And you can even let that sit overnight. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna come back and we're gonna roll it out and show you how we do that. Okay, so it's been about an hour or so. Our dough has been in the refrigerator. I'm gonna take it out of the plastic wrap. I have my KitchenAid. I switched out the mixing bowl with the pasta roller attachment. I have a lightly floured cutting board here. I used a mixture of the semolina and the regular flour on my cutting board. Thank you, dear. So this sometimes can be a two-person job, so that's why we like to do this together. I'm going to work my dough a little bit before I put it through the roller. I don't want the dough sticking to the roller, so I'm going to make sure that it's nice and floured. As you can see, it is a large piece here. So what I'll do is I will cut that into quarters. It's easier to roll, and then I will do a quarter at a time, and I'll show you how I do that. So my pasta roller attachment has multiple settings. I'm gonna roll this through the first setting, which is setting number 1, about 3 times to kind of flatten it out. And then I will advance the settings as I go along until I have it flat enough where I can put it through my fettuccine roller. So I think I'm gonna lock it. I'm gonna put it on the slowest setting that we have. And it's just gonna roll right through. The excess flour will fall off. I do have a towel on the floor. That was trial and error. I've learned that you don't want to mess on the floor, so put a towel down. It's easier to clean up. So now that my dough has been flattened on level 1, I'm going to change it to level 2. And roll that through twice on level 2. And you can see that the dough is getting longer as it rolls out, and this will continue through all of the settings. Okay. So now I'm going to switch to level 3, and I'm going to go one time on level 3. Now at this point you can see that it is quite lengthy. Level 4. And again, this is just making the dough thin enough so it can go through the fettuccine roller, which we're going to switch out in a moment. I'm going to need you to turn it off and put it on 5. Thank you. Thank you. Can you turn it on? Yeah. Thank you, love. Alright, last level is going to be level 5. And then we're going to switch out our roller. Woo, it's long. Okay, I'm gonna cut this because this is a little too long. This is a little ridiculous.
Okay.
Okay, switch out the roller now, and we're gonna put our fettuccine roller in. It comes with a fettuccine roller, so that's good. I think it also comes with a spaghetti roller. My preference is fettuccine. What's your preference?
I think we should try the other one just for the people.
Do you not have a preference?
No, I like all pasta, obviously.
Okay. Well, all right. Here we go.
This is a little moister than last time, too.
It is. All right. Ready? I'm just going to do it like this.
Okay.
All right. Level. There are no levels on this. It goes on the slowest setting. It's going to make fettuccine. We have a lined sheet pan with parchment paper That's where the fettuccine is gonna go, and we're gonna lightly flour that so it doesn't stick. So we're just gonna roll everything through. Thank you.
Like spread them like I did. Or not. Okay, so those are a little shorter, a little easier to handle. So we're just experimenting because we're kind of new with this. Attachment. And we've seen it done a bunch of different ways. Whoop.
How about them apples? Come back. Thank you. Okay. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some flour over it.
I think laying them lengthwise maybe is the way to go.
I know, but we're not like drying pasta.
I understand.
We're gonna be. So we're gonna do that 3 more times, and then we're gonna come back and we'll show you what we have. But that's basically the process that we use. We're just gonna do this really quick. Then we're gonna finish off our pasta by boiling it for a few minutes on the stove in a nice salted pot of water. We'll go to the next one. And then we'll be plating it. I misplated. Do you misplated?
I'm really enjoying just cooking with you.
Aw, that's sweet.
I think we're plenty thin. We're gonna
Okay.
switch it out.
Thank you.
Yes, chef.
And this is why with the 2-person job, because clearly I cannot figure out, thank you, how to work my own KitchenAid. So, woo, yay. Alright. Zooming in, here comes the pasta. Alright, last one through the machine. And then we'll put it on our parchment lined tin. It's quite messy, so I do wear gloves for this. It's easier to handle. The cleanup is easier for me. I can just kiss you back. Cleanup is easier for me when I do wear gloves. With all the flour and everything that's going on here, it's easier. I'm not always washing my hands in the wintertime, especially. It gets quite dry outside. So in order for me to preserve my already dry skin, I do wear gloves a lot when I cook. That way I don't have to wash my hands a bunch of times. So I'm gonna put my KitchenAid away now. We're gonna tend to the stove a little bit.
We've got the boiling water, so are you ready to put the pasta in?
Whenever you want, we can put it in.
Perfect. That's great.
So I'm gonna give this to Joe. He's gonna make the pasta on the stove. There's my man. If I knew how to take this off the stand, I'd bring you over there. Actually, I can move you over. All right. So this is gonna boil for a few minutes on the stove. We do have our sauce on the back of the stove. It's still hot. Whenever we can do like a homemade sauce, we do. But we can't always. Tonight's one of those nights where we do. So the water has been generously salted. The pasta is going to come to a little bit of a boil. A few minutes, we're going to drain that. So for my sauce, I used 2 cans of, what did I use? 2 cans of tomatoes, whole tomatoes, San Marzano. We used some onion, some garlic, assorted mushrooms. I used my favorite seasoning, which is this umami mushroom and company seasoning blend from Trader Joe's. This stuff is just amazing. It contains salt, dried onion, mustard seed, porcini mushroom powder, white button mushroom powder, crushed red pepper flake, black pepper flake, and dried thyme. So I usually use that in a lot of my Italian cooking meals that we make. We both love mushrooms. I know some people aren't fans of mushrooms, but we are. So those are the things that are in my sauce. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of sugar, don't tell. And then I'm going to finish it off with a nice pad of butter. We get our butter at the supermarket. We use Kerrygold, and that's just going to add some nice flavor. Give it a little bit of oil. The extra virgin olive oil that we're cooking with is Sicilian. It is the brand Bono. I don't know if you can see that. Bono, Sicilian, extra virgin. What are you doing? Olive oil.
Yeah, they can see it. I just okay. Well, I can see and tell you if it's not in focus. It's okay.
Why do you have to be the one looking? What's going on?
It's just because you're because. Go ahead. Keep cooking. Maybe stir the pasta there, chef.
You hijacked the show. All right. Do you want to get out the cheese and I have a grater, so we'll grate our own cheese. We use a microplane. You can get them at Bed and Bath or wherever. I have flour all over me, which is wonderful. Okay, now that our pasta is boiling and it's foaming up, it's basically done. We're going to drain this. We're going to give it a nice drain in the sink. We're going to return it to the stove, and then we're going to spoon some of our sauce over onto our pasta to get it nice and coated, and then we're going to plate. As you can see, everything is drained. I'm going to try not to make a mess, and I'm going to put the sauce into the pasta that we just made. You can reserve some of your pasta water to help it stick to your noodles. This should stick pretty well, so we don't really need any, and then there's a little liquid on the bottom still we left in there. So now that our pasta has been coated with our sauce, we're going to plate. I don't like that much sauce on mine. It smells good. It looks good. Trying not to make a mess. Thank you, love. So now I'm going to take the microplane and I'm going to grate some of the pecorino romano on top. How much do you want on yours?
It's a decent amount. It's very tasty.
And there is our take on Italian cooking with Joe. So thank you for joining us. I hope you have a great dinner.